All right guys, welcome back. We have another shop update today and I want to cover a few things. The first thing is I want to show you some things that Jay and I made. He came over to the shop, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and he had this idea to make some camera mounts to use for when he's doing his shop tours. So I'm sure you've seen the shop tour on Jason Barlow, and you probably saw me in the background using a funny looking contraption. I saw one of the comments that said that my camera looks like it was going snorkeling, and that is true. That was this thing, and so Jay and I made 2 camera mounts a piece, and this was one of them. This was my favorite. I used this in Jason's shop tour video, and so the camera mounts here, and this handle here is what you would hold on to, and it's kind of centered by gravity, and so the camera basically just holds everything in place and level. I can move my hand back to this area and hold on here, and I can get some shots and move it nice and smooth, pan, whatever I want to do. But this worked out pretty good. Now Jay had a different contraption, and you didn't see it because he was using it to film, but I've got one here. It's similar. It's not exactly like what Jay was using, but it's this. And so the way this works, and mine's a little different. His has another piece here, but I made this to go around my neck just as a reference, and you can hold on here. There's a bolt that would go through this T and hold the camera on top. So I would have the screen here, the controls. I could hold it here and do the zoom, and it helps steady everything, and that way I'm not, holding it and it's real, shaky or whatever. So it's just more of a steady cam type mount. So this is something, like I said, Jay came up with, and so he came over and we just spent the morning goofing around and seeing what we could come up with. So we had fun doing that. That was a lot of fun, and we actually used, like I said, I used one of the mounts that I made. He used one of the mounts that he made over on Jason's shop tour video. Now here I'll show you some footage of Jay using his contraption he made, or his steady mount, steady cam, whatever you want to call it, to actually film the whole shop tour. And so here's a behind the scenes look at that. Take a look at this.
Is it safe to say you're primarily a turner?
Absolutely. It's kind of the niche that I have found for myself. Yeah.
So you've got a Grizzly, do you know the number on this? Doesn't matter.
It's a PR 2519, no, I'm just kidding. G0462.
G0462. But this is your main station, your main setup. You got all your tools in the back.
Absolutely.
Now do you find that shelf in the back gets horribly dusty and full of stuff?
Yes. So you were coming over. I know you're sensitive. And,
Okay, so that's what it looks like when he had the camera mounted and actually using it. And he said it was actually pretty comfortable. He likes it a lot. So we'll see, where that goes. But that was pretty interesting. That was a fun morning, just messing around, trying to improve the way the camera's held to get a more steady shot. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you is a picture that Scott sent me. He made this table, this kids activity table, from the plans that I sell over my website. The plans that I made show the shelves on the end. Well, he turned his shelves to the side, which is really a good idea. You can set this up against the wall now, and you probably have shelves on both sides if I had to guess, but this picture here only shows one side. But really good job, Scott. I really like that idea, and so you can find those plans over on the website at stoneandsons.net/plans. So thanks, Scott, for sharing that. That was really cool to see. All right, so the next thing we'll talk about is the resaw fence that I just made. The last project that I put out this past Sunday was a resaw fence for the bandsaw that I got. Now, I didn't overcomplicate things on this. It's pretty much just four pieces of wood plus the 2 support pieces here on the back. This is 6 inches tall and about 13 3/4 of an inch wide. It's the same width as the bandsaw table. Now, one of the questions that I had was, why did I include this piece here? Why don't I just attach this to this portion and eliminate this piece? Well, for two reasons that I can think of right off the top of my head. The first reason is the glue surface. Because I have this piece, I have all of this surface to glue to, and it also provides more support for these because they're sitting on top of that edge, and it holds everything nice and square. The second thing is that I made this piece first, and I set it on top of my factory fence, and so however that sits, I can now attach or place this up against it, reference it off my bandsaw table, and then strike a line to where I need to glue this. So this really doesn't have to be, you know, straight or square or whatever. This can sit any way it wants to on the fence, and now I can put this fence, this front piece on, and it can be straight no matter how this looks. So your fence, your factory fence, can be a little off, but when you put this on and glue it to this, you can make it, you can straighten it up then. And another thing that I did was I created this little dowel rod. I cut a little section out over on the bandsaw, and this is to adjust for blade drift. And so the little section that I cut out allows it to slip right over the fence. And now, when you feed something, you can kind of move it to, you know, stay on line with your blade if you have blade drift, if that's a problem for you. For me, I didn't need it. I actually cut a piece without this. By the way, this attaches with a screw on the back. So that just gets a little screw, tacks right in, holds it in place. Very easy. But I did do a test cut without the dowel rod, and I cut a piece of black walnut and just kind of, I mean, it's, you know, I could break this, but this is bending pretty good. I could have gone a little thinner with that. Turned out great. So I'm happy with the resaw fence. I'm happy with the camera mounts. We had a good time at Jason's shop. He's a funny dude. Like I said, be sure to check him out over on Instagram at JB's Workshop. Show him some love over there. And I think that's about all I've got. One last thing is, please check out the website. I have done a total overhaul, excuse me. Just redone everything on the website, redesigned it. And so the homepage looks different. We've got some new things over there that we didn't have before if you have been to the website. So one thing that is different, we have some online courses being developed, and one of those courses that I'm pretty excited about is sharing the setup process for someone that wants to actually get a wood shop going, like shop layout, the tools that you use, how do you lay workflow, how do you figure out what your workflow is going to be, where do you put tools, what are the most commonly used tools, like, you know, what are some of the first tools you might want to get, dust collection, just everything that is involved with setting up a wood shop, and how to work in your wood shop, the safety, all that stuff. So that's one of the courses that we're really excited about. If that's something that you're interested in, check it out over on the website, stoneandsons.net, and see what you think. There are some other ones there that are being developed as well that are really good. But any of those, if you're interested in more information, just click on the Learn More button and just let us know that, hey, this sounds interesting, tell me more about it. So check that out. And that's all we've got. So until the next shop update, we'll see you Sunday for the project video, and then we'll see you back here Wednesday for the shop update. All right, guys, take care. Have a good week. See you.
Using that exactly like you have it, without the tools, but using it as a
I
tray.
use it to hold, excuse me, all my sanding strips that I cut up and pre-mark.
Nice. You cut them up and pre-mark them, so you label each one?
I mark each one, so if I have to go back to the grit, then I know it's 150, 220.